Just fucking do it. Subscribe now. Yeah. And so, full disclosure.
And that's after the D&O insurance?
No, the D&O insurance is the insurance that will pay for that litigation, because when you get sued or when you fight, then they pay up.
I don't think they have that in Mexico.
In where?
In Mexico.
Well, they got gangsters in Mexico.
A couple of guns.
Yeah, believe me. I remember I went to the for back in the day when I was running and gunning, and so I 3 mile driveway. We're driving up, bodyguards, AK-47s, and a convoy, just like in the movies they show. And I said, "Well, where's this guy living?" He says, "It's a couple more miles." So we go 4.5, 5 miles, and we see this compound. It looks like the Maharaja's place, on the top of this fucking hill, and guards, and you got to go through 3 or 4 sentries to get it. This is, I'm going in a drawing room. The drawing room is about 4 times this big, and you could see, I saw a giraffe about 100 meters down the hall. I could see the lower half of a giraffe.
And you shoot it?
No, I didn't shoot it. And so, but it was stuffed. So his trophy room, unlike my trophy room, had 25-foot vaulted ceilings. They had live-size big fucking animals like giraffes. And so then they asked if you want to drink, and I said, yeah, drink tequila there, obviously, and the best tequila, blah, blah, and then we go into his study area. And his salary was $36,000 a year. $36,000. Yeah. It cost just to stuff the giraffe was more than $36,000. And but we never did a deal because I wouldn't. Allegedly, I wouldn't pay any bribes. I wouldn't. And but that's how you get in those houses when you're a government employee. And you can say that about the African countries, back in the old days, the Eastern European countries, Spain, yeah, and the
or the U.S. when you want to be vice president. Right?
Yeah, but you can. Well, he didn't. The guys that are spending money to be president, governor, and senators allegedly didn't steal the money. In America, or maybe the parents, like Joe Kennedy, big thief that was the father of President Kennedy, one of the biggest crooks on Wall Street. But the D&O insurance will take care of that. And so when your potential board members are asking you, well, what about when we get sued? We're going to have D&O insurance. D&O insurance, directors and officers insurance. And it's basically liability insurance for the board members. And it's relatively, not relatively, it is super cheap. It is super cheap. But these are all, your lawyer, so far your in-house lawyer, in-house accountant, not so much your industry experts, should be able to answer all this shit. I don't mean the shit, but all these kinds of questions. But only if you ask them, guys and gals. I know you're going to be embarrassed because Dan says you don't have to know dick, right? Well, then why am I asking these pricks anything? Because there are 25 or 30 things you got to know. That 25 or 30. Really, maybe only 15, but I'm stretching it to 30. And but you don't know which direction your board members are going unless you ask questions. Well, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And they will invariably, unfortunately for you, well, what do you think? And the hand on my heart, Boy Scouts on, or whatever it is, I don't really know. That's why, I have a board of astute, guys for directors. And then they'll kind of chuckle if they're in a room. I like to ask questions individually. I don't like, even though I was a know-it-all, I thought I knew everything, I didn't ask questions in the boardroom. And never ask a question in a boardroom that you don't know the answer to. That you don't know the answer to. And remember, never take a vote at a board meeting you don't know how they're going to vote. Or it's going to turn out to be a Caesar's deal where you get stabbed by your colleagues. Not physically stabbed. Maybe Chicago you got physically stabbed. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's still some parts of the United States where you can actually get physically hurt. Mm-hmm. Not too many of them, but there's still a few. Chicago being one of them. Now, in Hollywood, they'll just spray paint you or say you awful person, but in other parts of the world, they might do damage to your body or bodily damage to you. Okay, did I answer that question? There was another question? Yes, sir.
Yeah, what's the 25, 30 things we need to know? I mean, it's in the...
So that's all, But they're in the 35 gigs.
Okay.
Is 35 gigs a lot?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Okay, he says no.
A lot of information that's huge.
Video is not a lot.
No, video is nothing. But written shit. 35.
Enormous.
It's content.
It's a lot of content.
Okay, so you're going to get a lot of fucking content then. But if you don't look at it, meatheads, guess what? It doesn't jump through the thumb drive. What do you call it? It's not a thumb drive. What is it, AJ? It doesn't jump from the thumb drive into your brain. Okay? No, but it's God knows it's there. But I mean, I said this, the two least hit buttons on my website, how do you get the fucking money, and deal flow. Yesterday we had 6 people on how do you get the fucking money and 3 people on deal flow. We had 28,000 people on the site. Because when you know how to get the fucking money, when you're hiding there in Jersey from the Interpol, and you know how to get the fucking money and how to do deal flow, fuck, the pressure's on me now. I know how to do this shit. Now if I don't do it, I really am a dipshit. And so nobody goes to those.
Can't find it.
Yeah, it's there. Don't give me that shit. You can't find it. I know it's there. I remember a few months ago I said, are these prominently displayed? And he showed me, oh, fuck, they're prominently displayed.
Homepage.
Yes, thank you. But nobody goes there.
But they're on your podcast, both of them.
Yeah, well, I know that's it. Thank you. They are. That's exactly. I did a podcast on each one. I also did a podcast on board of directors.
There's a whole board meeting on your.
Correct. Thank you. And I did these podcasts, and nothing's changed. The only thing about how to get the fucking money, the only thing that's new is crowdfunding, and I've never done a crowdfunding deal, but a lot of you kids have. Why a crowd? You're short 40 grand, and you do a crowdfunding site, you'll raise 40 grand in 2 days, but you have 900 people giving you the money. Okay, but why somebody out of the blue would put money in your crowdfunding account? I don't understand that. I just don't. Why they? A couple of the guys in the Hall of Fame needed 600 grand, but they got like 1,100 investors. But then they have rights. So in the end, they bought them out. They give them their money back. Fuck your rights. Here's your check. Leave me alone. Okay. There was a question. Yes, sir.
Okay, so this goes back a little bit.
Okay.
All right, so you're gonna do a roll up. You're gonna do maybe 3 deals before you exit. First deal, small mom and pop bedpan, lousy books, all cash deal. Owner's gonna carry it.
So far, so good.
You pick it up, straighten out the books, put Gap in. Next deals are bigger.
Gap, general accepted accounting principles.
They're in better shape. Some bank financing. How long before you have credibility on the first deal before you can exit?
There's no time limit. If you triple top line, no. If you triple top line, revenue goes from 3 million to 10 million. That's all the track record you need. Okay, there's no time. But normally that's going to take you months, maybe a year or 2. But I've had guys, that's right. I had a Mexican guy from Mexico City that entered and exited in less than a year. He went to Poland, couldn't speak Polish, and rolled up hairdressing salons, tanning, cuticle, that kind of shit. And he was in and out in 11 months. Because he went there just to prove to his family, comes from a wealthy family in Mexico, that he could do it without the family money. In and out, and he took the money that he got there and he went back to Mexico City and he's rolling up something else. I think in Guadalajara, actually. He's rolling up something else. So and he had no experience, couldn't speak the language, because these are all myths. The myth of when you can exit as soon as you can show big progress. We've had people exit in less than a year. Get in, leave the seminar, get in and get out in less than 12 months. And they took that seed money, a few $1,000,000, to go do something else. A couple of them just, went off to fucking Tahiti and sailing around on a sailboat until they run out of money, then they'll come back. We've had a few of those over 26 years. They go, they make $10, $20 million. They think that that's enough. And then they run out of money. They spend it all. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And they come back, 5, 6, 7, 8 years later to do it again. Who's my 5:30? 6:30. It's 5:10, more or less.
5:10, 12.
5:12. They taught you to count that high. No shit. Chicago, Chicago. Vote early and vote often. Yeah. It's America. It's a great place. You can buy office. Legally, you can buy office. Illegal, you can get dead people to vote for you. I mean, what kind of America? I mean, America is great. Today we eat in here. Today is steak day. You're all going to get a 12 or something ounce steak.
12,
Yeah. Somebody should have asked you how you wanted it cooked.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Are we giving the big guys 3 steaks or
They slice it.
They gotta pay more.
fries are extra? I hear you drank beer last night. I mean the group.
We didn't have beer.
What? No, one.
One,
Few of us did.
Watching the movie after that.
yeah.
And they had sex afterwards.
I don't want to hear about that, but you're all big boys and girls. Yeah, but I mean, Black Beauty back there is getting free dates off me. I mean, fucking slag. I mean, I knew shit. But you will find people that know me, and other than people that I shit on 25, 30 years ago, that I made them grow up. You won't find anything bad. Nothing. Zero. And there's certain firms that love me or love you implementing this because you paid them. These big firms only love you if you pay. So if we hadn't been paying these people for 26 years, we couldn't get the time of day out of them. But we pay now. We don't always pay on time because life is what it is, but we always pay. We always pay. We don't have one case in 26 and a half years that we haven't paid. I mean, the fees, the professional fees. Not one single one. We've come close a couple times, but close only counts in horseshoes. But the kids pay, and I make sure that they pay. And randomly, I get a phone call from, is this kid for real? And this is from somebody I know, not from just some partner. Yeah, he's for real. He said, okay. But they don't ask me to vouch for you because I won't do that. I won't vouch for you. The system works. I know the system works. You've had 10 guys over 15 years. You know the system works. Whether this kid can make it work, time will tell. But so I'm not, that's another thing. Don't be having these potential board members call me to vouch for you because I won't do that. I won't do that. And then that looks bad for you. You tell them first of all, without asking me. Well, and it's kind of innocently, I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. Well, if you want to check, I'm sure Mr. Peña will take a call from you. Who the fuck said that? Not me. So when they call, between Kim and my other 3 assistants, you got to be Jesus Christ to get a call to me. And so no matter how many times they call, Mr. Peña doesn't take calls. But some guy put it in an email, I'm sure, he wouldn't mind taking a call. I'm telling you right now, I would mind, and I won't take the call. So don't tell him that. You don't have to lean on me, the system. And if I were you, I would tell the 4 or 5 or 6 so far and the 15 or 20 by the time we end, look at this. You want a case study? Look at this guy. 7 months, $40 million. Look at this guy, $200 million in 2.5 years. Boom, boom, boom. They're powerful numbers. Now, the real question is, and the guy's thinking the partner at E&Y, well, that's that kid, but what about you, moron? But that's great. Yeah, but what about you? Okay. Thank you, YouTube. Too much battery, you can't get the thing loose now? Now, the first time, many years ago, that she put a mic on me, she tried to get the mic in without putting her hand on my vest, as you recall. She's blushing now. But now it's all hats, she's taking it off me when I'm drunk now, so, but many years ago, it wasn't so easy.
Next time it's a knife.
Next time it's a knife. Any?
Maybe the bribe thing.
Yeah, the bribe thing,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, take the Mexican thing off, thank you. She's my conscience. Because some of the kids still trying to do business in Mexico. Some of the kids still trying to do business with Pemex. Now everybody knows that